to admit, this is the scariest format for a comedy show I've ever experienced. This is because if this joke doesn't work, I have to go sit there for 10 minutes and let you all stare at me. I just watch you all stare at me like that one needs work, I think. So I'm in therapy. I'm doing Zoom therapy, which I don't know if you guys have done that. Obviously, you don't leave your house for Zoom therapy. I don't know if they're supposed to do this, but my therapist also doesn't leave his house for Zoom therapy. I feel like I should know what the inside of my therapist's house looks like. I feel like that's an invasion of his privacy. I shouldn't be able to look at his house and be like, I think I have a better house than you, actually. I shouldn't be able to be talking about my dad in the middle of a session and then be like, sorry man, my water just got cut off, so we're gonna have to continue this next week. Alright, that's my joke. Thanks, guys.
Now everyone's staring there. Give it up, Casey Navarro!
Alright, so for my New Year's resolution this year, I decided to go back to my hometown in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Okay, yeah. And confront all the people who wrote in my 1997 yearbook stuff like, hey, I hope you have a great summer. And Casey, you're the funniest person I know. Turns out you can be arrested still for trespassing. And my bully's kids are way meaner than my bully ever was. Okay? And for the record, no, Michelle Stevens, I did not have a good summer that year because no one would hang out with me because you told everyone that I was an aggressive smeller. Sorry, not sorry, my giant nose is a detective. I knew my neighbor's cat died before they did. And also, I am probably the funniest person you know still, because you never left town, okay? Instead, you married that weird kid from chemistry class who put Viagra in his own water bottle and walked around school with a boner for days. That's a choice you made, okay? And you can tell your kid Wyatt, who answered the door, that yeah, maybe I didn't graduate high school, but he's probably not going to either. And there's no beavers or creeks in Beaver Creek anymore, okay? There's just these fake life-size beaver statues with signs on them that say, please do not touch or climb beaver. You know, if I had that sign a decade ago, I wouldn't have HPV. Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, how are you all doing? Alright, that's good. So when I was in 7th grade, I had this crush on this girl, and she used to cut herself. Not funny. It's a serious thing, people. I had a crush on a girl that used to cut herself, but I wanted her to like me, so I tried it too. And like, as soon as I did it, I realized I didn't like her that much. That was a huge mistake as soon as I did it. I don't know what you're supposed to do after you cut yourself, but I know it's not cry to your mom. Like, huge mistake. I was talking to a therapist, and she was like, well, do you feel like at the end of the day, was it worth it? And I was like, what? No. I got zero pussy from it. What are you talking about? I got a scar, and it's not even in the right spot. Like, I'm not part of the club. It's just on the back of my hand. It looks like I kind of cut myself one time when I was younger. That's it. You know what happened was I got sent to the principal's office, and they made me talk to a counselor, and she was like, young man, are you depressed? And I had to be like, no ma'am, just horny. So if any of you guys ever thought you were hornier than old AJ, nuh-uh, alright? Because I'll bleed for the pussy. Alright, my name's AJ Cagle, that was it for me. Welcome to the stage, Mayor Mason!
Hey besties. So I've been thinking a lot about my 2023 New Year's resolutions, you know, like what's in, what's out. I've decided that a big out for me is holding women to a higher standard, okay? Real feminism is letting women suck at things sometimes, okay? Men have been able to fail at things without repercussion for years. It is our turn. We're gonna trip and fall right through that glass ceiling, okay? Guys ready? Another out for for me is hooking up with guys just for the bit. Yeah. Who else was doing that? You guys were doing that too? Yeah. No more. We're not doing that anymore, bestie. It's not anymore. No more hooking up with guys just because they happen to have the same name as another guy that I already hooked up with. Not going to be doing that one anymore. In 2022, I hooked up with 2 guys named Glenn, 2 guys named Ben, and 2 guys named Matt. It was a real Noah's Ark kind of situation. I was collecting 2 of every guy hanging out at the brewery on a Friday. No more of that. No more of that. And I hooked up with 3 guys named Lucky, all different spellings. 3, and I had to stop at an odd number just to count myself lucky that I wasn't collecting STDs this year. Thank you, guys.
I'm not certain this person is here, but please welcome to the stage, Tyler Roberts! I'm now certain they're not here. Please welcome to the stage, Walker Hayes!
I love being the consolation comic. Are you guys doing dry January? I am, so that means I'm pretty high right now. First time that I ever got high, I was 13, and we went to visit my aunt and uncle, and they had a daughter who was 16, so I thought she was like a goddess, right? And she was like, we're gonna go hang out with friends. So she took me to a house with like assorted 18 to 19-year-old guys, because there's nothing wrong about that. And she was like, don't tell them how old you are, and definitely don't tell them that you've never gotten high. And I was like, okay. And the first time I got high was out of a 4-foot-tall floor bomb. As a 13-year-old child. So I don't know if you've ever done that as an adult person, but it gets you really, really high. And she was like, don't panic. Just don't say anything to anybody, and nobody will know that you're high. So we are hanging out with them for a little bit, and they kept repeating to me, they're like, yeah, have fun visiting your aunt today, have fun visiting your aunt today, make sure you don't forget to visit with your aunt today. And so that got stuck in my head, and I was like, shit, we gotta go visit with my aunt today, right? So we go back to her house, and I guess a lot of time had passed, because when you're 13 and don't have a watch, you don't know what time is. We got back to the house, and her parents were really ticked, and they confronted us, and they're like, where have you guys been? What have you been doing? And true to her word, my cousin said literally nothing. So she just stood there staring as they're like, hey, what have you been doing? And I cracked, of course, and I was like, visiting with my aunt. To my aunt, who was the woman that was asking us that question. And I don't know if it's true that people can't tell that you're high if you don't say anything, but they can tell that you're fucking stupid when you do say something. I'm Walker Hayes, thanks very much.
Up next we have Alma Benoit!
Hey, God, Happy New Year, unless you drive slow in the fast lane, and then I'd like to offer you a healthy fuck you. I'm in an excellent mood. Honestly, I love the holidays and all that, but I'm glad they're over. I don't know if any of you guys hosted for the holidays, but I had my brother and sister-in-law and my parents, and I'm married and have 2 kids, so 8 people at my house, and I was hosting. And my parents were both engineers, and my brother is the director of data sciences at London School of Economics. And then there's me. So yeah, it went okay, except for, honest to God, things like my brother said to me without a hint of irony, in complete sincerity, have you considered making a spreadsheet? Dad would like that. Have you thought about making a spreadsheet, Arma? No, I have not. Also, can we not just pick a fucking restaurant? I mean, Jesus Christ. Anyway, thank you. Happy New Year.
2 more comics in the first half. Please welcome Weed Pegram!
Hello, welcome to the weirdest spelling bee of all time. Like, your word is abortion. Can you use it in a joke? Sure. This is a either way, dreams will be squandered. This is a real honor being with 40 Watt. This is awesome. I can almost feel the ghosts of mosh pits past. This is nice. Nah, man, I love the energy though, man. I do think I've been in a lot of mosh pits. I've retired, because of my body, and but I think you see the best part of humanity in a mosh pit. Really, that's humanity at their optimum state. You ever fallen down, you're immediately picked back up, like every time. Okay, unless you weren't, I'm sorry. I'm glad you could make it here tonight. I was at a hardcore show in Raleigh, North Carolina one time, and hell yeah, Neptunes, and they just shoved me. I just got shoved on the ground, and immediately my guardian angel picked me up, and I didn't see his face, but I saw he wore this shirt that said "Fucked by Satan." And he picked me up, and he was bringing me in, and I thought, we were gonna hug or something. And nope, just kissed me on the mouth, and just shoved me back into the crowd. And I never saw that guy again. He could be a ghost. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
And your last comic from Group 1, please make some noise for Will Ray!
Alright. Hey, one hand for 40 Watt for letting us host this thing, right, guys? Give it up for him, man. Alright, when I first showed up, the security guard was like, "Everybody get your knives out." I was like, good, we're letting a drunk guy run security? That's good. Alright, solid. Also, why are you assuming we all have knives, dude? I don't run with that many people, right? Is that like everyone get your knives out? Is that like a security guard's equivalent to put your lighters up, everybody? Alright, no one's been to a concert. Sweet. Alright, I don't know. Then he was like, "Hey, can you spread your arms? I want to act like I'm doing my job." I was like, "I'd rather you do your job. I would rather not feel like I'm gonna die in there." Alright. I don't even know if he works here, honestly, guys. I'm not sure. Alright. I've never had to pee my pants more. Not because I'm nervous, but I drank 3 Miller Lights and had to watch 25 people go up on stage. So that's, alright. Let's get into it. We were hanging out. I was hanging out with my friends over the holidays, hanging out over break. One of my buddies, I was asking him how he's doing. I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm trying to quit vaping." I was like, "Hell yeah, man, good for you." He's like, "Yeah, so I've started smoking cigarettes to replace the vape." And I was like, "You could have just said you're doing bad, right? You could have just, I've never been at a place where I'm so low where I'm like, cigarettes might be the answer." I think that's... Have you guys ever met an 18-year-old who's just given up on the idea of quitting vaping? They're just content with it for the rest of their life? I'm looking at a couple of y'all. Alright, no. It's pretty funny. My little brother has some friends, and I was like, "Hey, you should stop vaping. You should quit." And he was like, one of my brother's friends was like, I tried giving up years ago. I was like, "When you were 12? Dude, yeah, 11 was a tough year. I know, that's tough, right? Nah, man, I couldn't do it. I could hardly focus in language arts. It was tough, Alright, guys, give it up for all your comments.